Alright, so now we're going to try and graph a piecewise defined function. And the function is defined up here. You can see the entire thing is up here in at the end of that sentence. We're going to take it piece by piece, so line by line in other words. So the first part of this that we're going to look at is just the first line. f of x is 3 when x is less than or equal to negative 2. So there's a word missing here if you like to transfer it into English, and it's the word when. So f of x is 3 whenever x is less than or equal to negative 2. So we're going to go to our graph and we're going to look at the x's that are less than or equal to negative 2. That means to the left of or equal to negative 2. So that symbol here means keep to the left of negative 2 on the x-axis. So we're down in this area down here. Okay, we're down in this area down here, down left of negative 2. Okay, well, how do you draw the line f of x equals 3? Okay, well, you just go, make sure you're on the left of negative 2, but go up to a height of 3 and just draw a line there. Okay, so that's a height of 3 there. That's why we're picking that line. Now, it does say that x is less than or equal to. So to show that it's equal to, what we're going to do is we're going to put a little dot there. Okay, a little dot there, that x is equal to negative 2. Okay, the next line. That's the first part of it done. And if I can get my pen to work. The next line, if we go back to the original, question was f of x is equal to 2x minus 1 when negative 2 is less than x is less than 4. So in other words, for x's between negative 2 and 4. Okay, so the first time around f of x was just 3. We didn't have to work anything out. We knew that the line was going to be a height of 3 the whole way along. In this case, and I'll scroll back down in a moment, but in this case we need to make up a table because we have x's and numbers in here. So let's start with x, and we'll pick 2 or 3 numbers. Okay, and then we'll have 2x minus 1. Okay, so our x's, we started at negative 2. Okay, so let's look here. We started at negative 2 and we go all the way to 4. So negative 2, 4, and then we have to pick a number in the middle just to make sure that we're on the right track. So let's say we pick 0, because 0 is in between negative 2 and 4. Pick a number that's in between them. Alright, let's work out what those would be. If we plug these in, that's going to be 2 times negative 2 minus 1 is minus 4 minus 1 is equal to minus 5. So that will be the point negative 2, negative 5. This will be the point 2 times 0 minus 1, which is just going to be negative 1. So this is going to be the point 0, negative 1. And 2 times 4 minus 1, well, that's going to be 8 minus 1, which is 7. So this will be the point 4, 7. Now there's a but coming up here. Let's look at these two inequality signs here. Those two inequality signs. They're both less than, but neither of them is less than or equal to. So that means the point at negative 2 and the point at 4 aren't actually going to be included. Okay? They're not actually included because there was a less than sign. If it had been less than or equal to, it would be different. But if it's a less than sign, then when we go to draw these points on the graph, we're going to use an open circle. We're not going to color in the circle, we're going to use an open circle. Okay, so let's go to negative 2, negative 5 on the graph, over to negative 2 and down to negative 5. And at that point, we'll make an open circle. That's not very good, so let's see if we can. Negative 2, negative 5, and there's another one at 4, 7, so over to 4 and up to 7 and an open circle there. And the other point we had, now we only do the open circles for the end points. for the -2 and 4. But the other point we had was 0, -1. So over to 0 and down to -1. So that's an ordinary regular dot. And we have a line that goes through there like that. Okay? So that's the second part. That's the second part of our answer. And now, if you remember, if we go back and look at the question, the f of x equals 3, we did that already. And we have f of x equals 2x minus 1, we've done that already. And now for the last part of this says that when x is greater than 4, the function's value is equal to 10 minus x. Okay, so when x, this is the last part, f of x is equal to 10 minus x when x is greater than 4. So if we're talking about numbers over here that are bigger than 4, where the x value is bigger than 4, so in that area there, the value of the function is going to be given by 10 minus x. So let's see how that works. We're going to make a table. Okay, we're going to make a table. So we'll have x, and we'll have 10 minus x. And this should work for numbers that are bigger than 4. So start with the number that's given. Start with the 4. Okay? Start with 4, and 5, and 6. It doesn't really matter. We can use any numbers that are bigger than 4. But 4, 5, and 6 seem to make sense. Now plug in your number. That's going to be 10 minus 4, 10 minus 5, and 10 minus 6. 10 minus 4 is equal to 6, 10 minus 5 is equal to 5, and 10 minus 6 is equal to 4. So the points here are going to be 4, 6. This point is going to be 5, 5. And this point is going to be 6, 4. Okay. But again, one other thing to keep in mind here is to look at the inequality. And the inequality was just greater than. It didn't have an equal sign, it was just greater than. And that means at 4. So at this first point here, we're going to have to use an open circle. Okay, we're going to have to use an open circle. Okay, if we have less than or equal to, we get a closed circle, but if we have greater than, it's an open circle. So the point 4, 6 needs to be an open circle. Here's 4, and here's 6. Okay, oh, wrong color. I'm going to use purple for this one. Okay, and I can blow it up a little bit as well. So 4, 6 is right here. Okay, and the other points that we had, if we scroll down, were 5, 5, and 6, 4. And those points are just normal points. So 5, 5, and 6, 4. Okay, so that line is going to be like this. Okay, now on paper obviously we'd use a ruler, but that's what that line looks like. And you can see, we'll get rid of this stuff now because this was just to guide us. And you can see that the graph is made up of 3 pieces. There's the orange piece here. That was f of x equals 3 when x is less than or equal to -2. The piece I've drawn in red was 2x minus 1 when x is between -2 and 4. And the final piece in purple is the graph of 10 minus x when x is bigger than 4. Okay, so we'll get a bit of practice drawing that. Now in this case, none of the 3 pieces join up. But with piecewise functions, they may or may not join up. So in another example that you do, you may find that 2 of the pieces join up. Okay, now remember that you stop drawing your lines when you see the numbers written in the domain. Okay? And the lines may join or may not. If you use less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, then you'll have dots, solid dots. If you use less than or greater than without the equal to, then you use open circles. Okay, so thanks for watching, and hopefully this helps you as you go along. Okay.